Hi everyone, it's Irene and I have another project I'd like to share with you today. The first one is altering or decorating these time cards. I know people say altering it. It's still a time card, so I'm not going to alter the original item. I'm just going to decorate it. So I'm going to call it the decorated time card. And I use this punch, which is by McGill. And what it does is, let me punch it out real quick. It gives you that type of punch. So it's instead of a hole, it gives you a little slot there. So it's by McGill. I've had this for a while. It's really fun to use. And what I do is I rounded the corners. I use my shoe polish as the stain that I get from Target. And let me just show you what that looks like, because people have been asking me what that is. And it's by Kiwi. I used a brown one. It's by Kiwi, and it comes with the sponge dauber on top. And what I do is I take out that little stopper you find in there, and I pour it out in a little dish and use this as my stain. If you didn't know the difference, it looks just like the Tim Holtz stain. So if you're doing a large project and you can't afford that stain, shoe polish is the alternative thing to use. I have music paper scraps. I have an image I fussy cut out myself that is on top of some gauze or some cheesecloth. Now, if you don't have any cheesecloth, you can use medical gauze that you can find at Dollar Tree. And then I have some of this eyelash trim that's in the gold version here, and this is the back. And now this can come a journaling tag, and really fun to use these. So that's my decorated time card. So that's one project. The next project is using this pocket with scallop edge punch by Sizzix. It makes this little baggie. Really cute, and you can find this anywhere, and it's by Jelly Bean, but it's put out by Sizzix, and there is the part number. And I made quite a few of these little pockets right here out of index cards. My index card is quite large, and I made them out of that. Coffee dyed, ready to go. A lot of fun. As you see, I have quite a few here. I make many because the setup for these takes a while, so you know, why not make a whole bunch just to have in your stash ready to go for your project. So the journal making can be just that much more faster. So that's the second thing. The third thing I want to show is what I do with some of these envelopes. These little envelopes, security ones, they're coffee dyed. I sew down the middle. I then slit the top. I'll show you what I'll make here. I cut the top off just by hand like that. So now it's open here and here, right? And then what I do is I, see how it's open here? I take this corner and I kind of just put this little edge right behind the little tuck there, trying to create a square design. And once I get it perfected of where I want it, let's just say that, I put a dab of glue right there and glue that down. And I do it on this side also. Try to make it up. It's easy once you get going, because I usually use my tabletop and not my air table. Okay, so kind of like that, right? Let's see, make it straight, because give it a little bit of straightness if I can. And tuck it right there, just to give it that look. I would glue it shut, and there it is. And what that does, it creates a tuck right here and right here. After I give it a little glue right here, put a bead of glue right there, just close that up. That becomes shut, so that's a pocket, and that's a pocket, and that can become on a page. Let me just get this journal out again. Let's just say in my signature, I wanted a tuck spot. I would glue that down or sew it down. I usually sew it down, and that becomes pocket here, here, and here. And I usually decorate that with ribbon like this. So here's a tuck, And if I was to sew it into my signature, that would be a tuck. So let's see, 1, 2, and 3. And it's decorative and it's different. You can also keep it as a flap and then flap it open. I've done that before, and I usually adhere a little magnet right here and shut that down, and it's really fun element. It can go like this and open it like that with a magnet or a different type of closure. Coffee stained, really pretty, and it looks really nice on any project. And I made quite a few of these. After they're coffee stained, I sew them all up. I slit them up and make little tuck spots. Really fun to put in. Also these little dyed little index cards, but I have quite a few of right here ready to go into these little envelopes. So that's the third thing I've made. And then I want to show you, I don't know if you guys use these or not, but I have quite a few of these list pads that I bought from Michael's years gone by. And I actually still kind of collect them because they make awesome journaling pages. But what I do is I tear it up and I gesso my book page. So this is all gessoed. And I stick that on, and then I just tear it, and after I tear it, I stain it. And the reason why I gesso it is because after you gesso the paper, you can write on it with a marker or a pen, and it just looks age-looking. It feels really good in the hand, and I've made quite a few of these. I actually made a lot of them, as you guys all know. These are just getting ready to be gessoed up, but I love to gesso them up, and here are some Paris ones. Really pretty. Tearing them up. Back of book pages. Just another way to use a book pages. Make them rough. Then I'm going to add that stain and make it into a production line because it goes quick when you do that. And it's a lot of fun to use up these type of bits and pieces. And one more last thing, and I only have one. And that is Deli Paper that you get in a box. I've coffee dyed it. I imprinted a butterfly on there, and I show how I do that on my channel with a silicone molded butterfly that I had made. And then I fold it up, and I make it into this little pocket. And what I can do with this is the same thing, that in a journal, I can use it as a tuck element if I wanted to. A pocket maybe, a journaling spot, something that flips. I just like the noise of it. It's really crispy, it's pretty, dainty, really, really fun. I also have made these into little shaker envelopes, and I put some decorative sequins and beads and just left it as something different in a journal. But that just adds a lot of bulk. So if you don't want bulk in your journals, don't add the shaker part of it, but they do see through if you don't coffee stain them too much. So isn't that fun? So these are just some fun elements that I make for my journals and using up my stash, trying to make different things that are fun to find in a journal. I know I love to find these elements in journals, and I hope that the journals that I gift people out to enjoy these little fun things. And it's just a fun way to stay busy. Alright everyone, thanks so much. I hope you guys try some of these elements. Love to see what you guys can come up with. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Take good care. Bye-bye.